You've been taught to manage your emotions, control them, suppress them, push through them, and maybe, sometimes, that works. But here's what nobody tells you. The harder you grip an emotion, the louder it gets. The people who are most emotionally stable, they're not better at controlling their feelings, they're better at working with them. That's what these 7 habits are about. And once you understand the difference, everything changes. 7 habits, each one rooted in neuroscience and psychology, and they're built to layer, each one deepening the last. So this isn't a checklist you sprint through, it's a practice you grow into. Let's begin. Habit 1. Get specific about what you feel. Most people feel something and call it stressed, or bad, or off. But stressed and humiliated are not the same feeling, and they don't need the same response. Psychologists call this emotional granularity, the ability to distinguish between similar emotions with precision. Research shows that people with higher emotional granularity recover faster, react less impulsively, and are significantly less likely to spiral under stress. So when something hits you, don't stop at the first word. Get specific. Not just angry, but disrespected, overlooked, afraid of being wrong. The more precisely you name it, the less power it has over you. Habit 2. Breathe to buy yourself a choice. Now that you can name it, you need a pause before you act on it. 4 counts in, hold for 4, out for 6. That extended exhale activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the part of you that says, you're safe, you can think. This is the bridge between feeling and choosing. It only takes 30 seconds, but in those 30 seconds, you stop reacting and you start responding. Habit 3. Act opposite to what the emotion urges. This one is counterintuitive, and that's exactly why it works. When anxiety says avoid, you lean in gently. When shame says hide, you reach out to someone safe. When anger says attack, you lower your voice instead. This is called opposite action. The science is clear. Emotions sustain themselves through the behaviors they trigger. Stop feeding the behavior, and the emotion loses its grip. You're not suppressing how you feel, you're refusing to let it drive. Habit 4. Move your body. Emotion is physical. It lives in your chest, your jaw, your shoulders. Walking, stretching, a run. Movement metabolizes stress hormones. It gives your body somewhere to put what your mind is carrying. You don't need an hour. 10 minutes changes your neurochemistry. And something else happens too. You begin to trust your body again, not as the problem, but as part of the solution. Habit 5. Practice anticipatory regulation. Most people try to regulate emotions after they've been triggered. This habit flips that. Anticipatory regulation means asking, before you walk into a hard situation, what am I likely to feel? And what do I want to do with that? Before the difficult conversation, you prepare your response, not just your words. Before the stressful day, you build in recovery, not just productivity. It sounds simple, but it's the difference between being ambushed by your emotions and meeting them at the door. Habit 6. Protect your recovery. None of this holds without rest. Sleep isn't passive. It's when your brain processes emotional memory, regulates cortisol, and restores your capacity to cope. One bad night makes everything harder. Every good night makes everything easier. This is the habit most people skip, and it's the one quietly undermining all the others. You cannot out-habit a chronically depleted nervous system. Habit 7. Let someone else regulate with you. The final habit isn't something you do alone. There's a concept in neuroscience called co-regulation. Your nervous system doesn't just calm itself, it calms in the presence of someone it trusts. A steady voice, a hand on your shoulder, someone who isn't flinching at what you're feeling. This is biological. We are wired to regulate through connection. So the last habit is this: stop trying to hold it all by yourself. Call someone, sit with someone, let yourself be known. Emotional regulation was never meant to be a solo project. Stop trying to control your emotions. Start learning to work with them. Get specific. Breathe. Act opposite. Move. Prepare. Rest. Connect. Pick one, just one, and start there. Because the most emotionally stable version of you isn't someone who feels less. It's someone who's learned to feel without being controlled by it. If this resonated, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me which habit surprised you most. I am Tom. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.